Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
My wife and I talked about co-op. We've been talking about it for weeks because we want to do stuff on stream together. And I told you, if we couldn't figure anything out to play, she was probably going to come on stream and do a Q&A session with you guys because it's been a while now. You know, it's been a month, if you didn't know, since we did the Dunko Island co-op, and it didn't go anywhere. We stopped doing it, and since then we didn't really think of anything else, right? So we were talking about the various different things that we could do and the ideas that we had, and, you know, we looked up a bunch of games, a ton of games, to try to look, and we're like, what are we going to do, right? So finally we came to a conclusion. Some of you are going to like it. Others of you are going to hate it. But I think for those of you who are into seeing us hang out and interact like a couple, right? And to enjoy a game together, which is what it's about, I think you're going to like what we came up with. If you're someone who's very demanding and has all this fucking laundry checklist of shit, things that you absolutely must require of any stream where two people are doing something together in a game, then you're going to be very upset. All right, I'll tell you right now, if you're one of the laundry list checklist people, just leave. You're not going to like these streams. Don't even bother attending them. All right, because that's not our intention. We're not doing this to be professional grade streamers where Cat is some kind of a veteran at this and everything's perfected. No, instead, it's two of us that want to do stuff together and just have fun. We want to have that social interaction like we have off camera, on camera. In fact, to give you some perspective here, someone left some comments on videos recently. And they said, you know, all the things that you've been describing that you do together on your day off would be great for content. For example, imagine if the first time Kat played Tekken and you were teaching her basics and we got to see her play the arcade mode that you described. That would have been awesome. Imagine her trying this power washing simulator and going through it and having, you know, doing the story of it. That would have been awesome. And this is that. And I'm thinking to myself, does this person not understand that, like, it's okay to have a life outside of a stream? Like, I don't have to have my stream on every moment that I'm out of this room and we're having interaction. Like, when I take a shit, I don't need to have the stream on as the turds hit the water. And as we're cooking, we don't have to see, as we're frying and sauteing in the pan, you don't need to see it singe and sear. You don't need to see the smoke coming out of the food that I'm going to eat. I can just tell you that we made it and ate it. You know, not everything has to be broadcast live to an audience. There has to be like a separation of personal and public. And that's a great thing when you have that. Okay? I don't want to 100% have our private lives be broadcast to the world. Some people don't understand it. Like, well, I don't understand, but that's monetizable and people want to see it. So you should just do it. No. No. We shouldn't. We should have our own lives. That's the idea, is that I'm much happier now. I used to do that. I used to film and vlog everything in my home, and every trip that I went on and everything that I did was broadcast live to the internet, and a lot of people liked it, and it basically destroyed my life. It made it so that people became internet stalkers, that people became obsessed with me and my private life and how fucked up it was that they're all over every little piece of my house. It's obsessive. It's fucking disturbing. If you guys heard the stories of shit that's happened to me and my family over the years, you would be shocked and shit your pants. But I don't tell those stories because you don't give attention to that kind of fucked up stuff. You understand? No, I don't need to fucking show you every aspect of my life, okay? But in line with what people are saying like that, you know, thinking about what would have been a game that my wife would have played and I would have liked to be there, either to participate in myself or to just sit there and do, like, you know, commentate on it. And what would have been something that we would have really liked to enjoy to do together that maybe we could just do on stream instead. And there's actually a game that we were talking about watching someone play or having her play, but we haven't found a means to have her play it because of our whole gaming situation. Okay? All right, so that being said, here we go. Because some people are going to like this and some people are going to hate this. All right, so here we go. The game that we have decided on. People are just saying the most random shit in chat. It's hilarious. The game that we've decided on is a game that Kat has wanted to, again, play or watch for a while, and we didn't have the means, but then we were like, Eureka, why not? And I will give this, if you can believe it, I give credit to Slayer, who is not here today. I wish he was here, but he's never here during the day streams. Slayer left a comment on one of my videos yesterday. He's like, you know, this might work. And I talked with Kat about it, and we were like, actually, yeah, this would work 1,000,000%. I think this is an excellent idea. It's a game that's not very long. It's a game with a very interesting story. It's a game where we could even maybe do some co-op, but I'll explain in a moment because the game truly is co-op, but isn't. It's hard to explain. The game that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, no, it's not Singapore Simulator. Stop that right now. It's a game called Beyond Two Souls. It is one of the older Quantic Dream games. It's actually the major one that came out before Detroit Become Human. And if you can believe it, it is co-op, but not really. Allow me to explain what I mean by that, okay? It is co-op, but people were actually disappointed at the time because they thought it was fully co-op, and it's not, okay? So how it works is you're the main character, and that person, whoever player one is, plays as the main character with their control pad. But then there's another character that's a supernatural entity in the game. And if there's a second player, they can control the supernatural entity at certain points in the game. But there's never a point where you control them both at the same time. It kind of just swaps between the two. So you're basically just kind of a helper or an assist to the main character. All right. But here's the deal. Number one, it's a great plot. It's a very interesting game. If you've never seen the game before and you don't know the story, it's very interesting. Like, it hooked me when I was playing it. This game came out in 2013, by the way. So it's been a long time since it's been out. And if you haven't followed it or played it yourself, it's a very interesting story. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Kat's never played it. She knows nothing. She's heard about it. She likes the Quantic Dream games. You know, recently, we actually watched someone play Detroit Become Human. And then I'm watching myself play Heavy Rain every Sunday night on the DSP Throwback channel for the Retro React series. So we've been interested in this game for a while, and she's wanted to play it, and she can't play it because she doesn't have a PS5, and it's not on Xbox. Right now, currently, the only console we have in the living room where she plays games is the Xbox. And so it's not on there. So she just hasn't had access to it. So we stayed away. Originally, we were going to maybe watch someone else play it, but we kind of held off from it. And now we're actually happy that we did because here's the thing. The game's only around 8 to 10 hours long. So it would take only like 4 or 5 streams to beat it, which is good. It's a digestible game. It's episodic, right? It's not a game that has insane amounts of gameplay investment where we're going to be stressed or bored. Instead, it's an ongoing narrative. The narrative will get you excited to keep going. It gets you hooked and interested in the game as opposed to, oh, it's just gameplay, right? That was the problem with Dondoko. It's literally just grinding gameplay to get a reward. There's nothing to it. There's no story. There's nothing. With this, it's a narrative. It's interesting. And again, if you've never played it and you don't know the story, it's very exciting. Now, the other thing is, I did play it in 2013 when it was new, but I've never played or watched it since. So because of that, it's been 11 years. I honestly don't remember much of it. I'll probably remember certain scenes, but I don't remember that much. So for me, it's going to be cool to re-experience this game again because it's the first time in 11 years and it'll be kind of refreshing and interesting. So the Friendly Gremlin says, are you going to call her Elliot Page or Ellen Page? You're not going to call her anything because it's a character in the game. It's not the actress or actor. It's a person in a game. You don't have to call them by their real name. It's not a concern. Really, if we're saying we're going to play Beyond Two Souls of co-op and your major concern is, are you going to call the actor Elliot or Ellen? You don't have to be at the stream. You cannot attend. It's fine. If that's really what's going to be on your mind the whole time, that's all you can think about, I think you need to take a step back from reality. It's a little fucking stupid thing to say. Honestly. Okay? Anyway. So anyway, all that being said, let's now start talking about this, but here's the thing, okay? I can't do it this week. There's no way. We are making a push to finish Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. So once those games are done, all right, then we're going to bring this co-op into the fray. All right, we are. Now, will we actually play it co-op? That's a good question, because it's actually funny. I read a few online reviews about how the co-op works in this game, and they're like, literally, you don't have to play it co-op. What you can do is just have the one controller, and so the one person plays the main character, and when it's time for the other character, you can just hand the controller over. and then that person just makes all the decisions for the other character. You don't need two controllers. Like, it's literally exactly the same. There's no difference. So maybe we'll just use one controller instead of having to have two and have me just sit around not playing 90% of the time, just pass the controller back and forth or whatever, right? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I want to do it, and I'd love to do it as soon as possible. I would love to do it tomorrow, but we can't. I gotta now finish these games I'm playing. All right, so here's the deal. This week's schedule, here it comes. Today, we're trying Battlefront all day long. I hope it works. I want to play these games online. I want variety. I want to have fun. But it sounds like this collection is a huge bust and doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, there's not much I can do about it. All right? If it doesn't work and we have to make on-the-fly decisions to change the schedule around, I guess we will. All right? But let's see what happens. I really hope that it does work because I want to enjoy the game today. Okay? And this is supposed to be both streams, so I'm going to do my best to have this be both streams. I hope you'll stick around. For everyone who's been screaming for variety, stop playing RPGs, do variety. Today's your day. So stick around. Engage. Please support the streams because I need it now because everything's stagnated for 2 months as I played the same RPGs. All right? Now, excuse me. Tomorrow, it is Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. On Sunday, it is React Day. DSP versus the Internet on DSP React. And then Retro React Heavy Rain on DSP Throwback. We're almost done with the Heavy Rain. 2 more streams and we finish the game. So that's already in its finale stages. Okay? Monday, Baldur's Gate 3. And then I cannot do a stream Monday night. And I know that sucks, especially now with everything going on. But I have to, number 1, do private patron videos. And number 2, finish up with my behind-the-scenes business stuff. So I will. And then after that, I will be here for double streams every day afterward. That's the last day I have to take a night off this month. Okay? Then on Tuesday, Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. And on Wednesday, Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. And by the end of this week, we can now reassess where we are in each game and see how much longer do we have until the finale. Okay? Now, next week, on Friday, we got 2 games coming out. Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin. We must determine between the two which one I will be playing. And it can only be one, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so please, I need feedback. Which do you want? I'm down for either. I would play either game. But here's the deal. No matter which game I play, please only give me your opinion if you're going to be here and commit to watching the playthrough. Not, oh, I just want to see the first early stages of it for 4 hours and I'm never coming back. Because if I buy a lengthy RPG and I play it for 4 hours and the interest drops off, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stop playing RPGs. I'm going to repeat that for all of you. If I buy an RPG because you guys say you want it and I play the first 4 hours of it and it does okay, and then after that no one comes back, engages, or supports those playthroughs, I'm going to stop playing RPGs entirely. I will just drop them because I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to have months of my streams inundated with 100-hour games that people really only wanted to see 4 hours of, and then we're never going to come back for. Because that's what's happened with these playthroughs now. Can you imagine? I mean this now. Can you imagine if with Baldur's Gate 3, I had played that in September? Can you imagine that? Because at least the way that I started in December, I was able to play it all of December and all of January. And then when games had come out, right, then I was able to balance it with those games. Can you imagine if I had played it at a time when there was a zillion other games out too? My God, right? So that's the deal. I need to have people commit to these games and not just say, well, we want this game. We want this game. Yeah, but the game's 80 hours long and you only showed up for 5 hours, right? So it's got to be one of two things. Either people are going to ask for things they're going to commit to actually showing up and watching and engaging with, or we just play games for 5 hours and drop them all, in which case that's pretty bad, don't you think? That I never finish a game? And you know me, for me, it's the complete and utter opposite. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite. I like to finish games that I start, especially if it's a game that I like. I'm one of the least quitting streamers there is. People who actually make up that meme are complete jackass morons. I've beaten more games than most people out there because I almost never drop a game. I almost always play a game to completion. It's a rarity when I don't, right? So if you're one of these people right now in my chat who are yelling, Dragon's Dogma 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, I hope you're ready to show up for the streams. I hope you're ready to watch the videos. I hope you're thinking of supporting the playthrough. Not you're just screaming for the sake of screaming and then you show up for 2 streams. Okay, I saw what it was. Bye. I'll see you in a month. That's not how it works. Okay? Here's the truth. I want to play Dragon's Dogma 2. That was the game originally I was going to play this month. I told you that. I said Dragon's Dogma 2 is the game I'm focused on for March. And then every RPG I played, it was like less interest, less support, everything stagnated, views are way down on the channel. What the hell? You know? So that's the deal is if you really want that, you got to show up for it, okay? You have to. So let's see what happens, I guess. That's right. It's like a tournament. We need to have a sign-up list. You can sign up and commit to being at the tournament. So you got to sign up and commit to being at the playthrough. It's not all that serious, but I mean, you have to understand for me, it is because this is my job. I'm trying to put out content that's entertaining an audience, and the audience likes the content enough that they come back and they engage and they support with that content. And I'm having a hard time with it right now, honestly. And it didn't used to be like that. And now it is. Now it's ridiculous. It's like, how many of these games do I play? And then within a week or two, this happens. It's like, man, I mean, look at already happened with Final Fantasy VII. Within like 3 streams of Final Fantasy VII, people were done with it. They tapped out. They're like, nah, fuck it. It's just another RPG. Oh, well. Really? This was the game that everyone was so hyped for. Couldn't wait. After Remake ended, everyone saw it was going to be a different plot with added stuff. Everyone's so excited. And it's just like, no one cares, right? It's just, wow. Certainly not what I was expecting. That game was like, that's the opposite reaction that I was expecting from the game, right? So, all right. Anyway, that's what I need to know. What do you want me to do for Friday? We have the schedule laid out for this week. We know what it's going to be, okay? We need to know what I'm playing on Friday. And then whatever it is, we'll play it for the one day a lot. And then we'll kind of put it on hold, and we'll play these other, Baldur's Gate and Like a Dragon, finish them both, and then we can fully commit to whatever the new game is. If we want to put Battlefront into the mix, if we want to continue with Final Fantasy VII, or maybe we want to play another game, because remember, there's other factors here. For example, one of the big factors is this Alone in the Dark game going to be any good? I would love to have some kind of a horror game in the mix for variety, but I don't think anyone knows enough about it to really make a judgment yet, right? Like, we've been following it, and he's like, where's the information? Why is it that it's supposed to be coming out by the end of this month, and there's still no real info on this game? That's a little bizarre, don't you think? Especially after being delayed twice, you think there would be some info? Like, where is it? So, yeah, let's see what happens with that. But I hope that you guys understand why these changes have to be made. Otherwise, I would literally be just sitting here balancing 7, 8 games at a row, or at a time, I should say, never finishing anything, right? Okay. Well, that's what I have to say. I got it off my chest. Now, my Phil's Day Off segment is very simple. I mean, I could click over, but I ran errands. I was following YouTube comments, which is how I came to this determination. I sat with my wife. We talked about co-op and determined Beyond Two Souls is the way to go. And we talked about that. I can't do it right now. We have to finish up other stuff. See, here's the thing. It would be cool if we finish Baldur's Gate. We finish Like a Dragon. So then we're focused. Let's say it's Dragon's Dogma 2. So this is the major game I'm playing, right? And then I balance that with something like Battlefront, whether I do the single player or the multiplayer or both. I don't know if we go back to Final Fantasy VII. That would be more your choice. Maybe if we go back to Final Fantasy VII, I just streamline the playthrough and we just do story and that's it. Forget the open worlds because it's too time consuming to do all the open world segments. I just turbo through the story elements, right? Maybe. And then we do co-op once a week or maybe twice a week of Beyond Two Souls. All right? I think that would be good variety until new games come out. And you might say, well, when are the new games coming out? I don't know. On my birthday marathon on April 6th, we're going to figure that out. I'm actually going to go through the whole game schedule and look at all the games coming out, and we're going to figure out a schedule for us then. All right? And that's another question. Well, when are fighting games coming back? I don't know yet, but they might. They might. We might bring them back into the mix. Let's see together. But we have to get through what we're on right now. We have to get past this big roadblock of RPGs before we could do anything else. They have to be completed. Okay? Sound good? Anyway, so outside of that, the only other stuff that we did on the day off, you know, we cleaned the house a bit. Kat has actually been playing this game where you renovate homes and flip them. I don't even know what it's called. I guess it was on Game Pass. So she's been doing that, and it's kind of very relaxing and almost similar to what she was doing with Power Wash Simulator. So I watched her play that for a couple of hours. We ordered Mexican food for dinner. She had some tacos, and I had like a burrito. Nothing too special to talk about there. Yeah, that's that. I mean, pretty basic day off. Nothing too crazy to talk about there because the things we determined on the day off, I've already discussed. Okay? All right.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.